Hey there! Thanks for checking out my Exploration Music Pack. In this walkthrough, I'm going to go through the tracks, talk about some of the titles, how to read them and how to understand them and the differences between the tracks, as well as some practical applications for your game. So let's just dive right into it. This first track that we see here is called A Bard's Tale. And you see in all caps it says loop. That means the track is loopable, so it can just continue in a seamless loop. Here's what A Bard's Tale sounds like. Alright, and I'm going to demonstrate the looping capabilities. So I just imported that track into the application that I use to create music. It's called Logic Pro, and in no way does this manipulate the sound at all. I'm just using it here to just play the audio and so that I can loop it. I'm going to repeat it, and here I'm just going to play the ending of the track so we can hear what that loop sounds like. So there we go. And you honestly wouldn't even be able to tell, especially if you're just listening to it in the background or something. Obviously, practical applications of this track would be, using it in a tavern or any similar setting. I'm going to play another one that's similar to A Bard's Tale because these two are the only ones that are, I would say, the most different from the rest of the tracks in this whole album. So this one's called Townsfolk. I'm going to skip into it a little bit so you can hear what it develops into. The rest of these tracks are inspired by the ambient soundscapes and musical concepts in Elder Scrolls games such as Skyrim and Oblivion. So I'm going to play here's A Forgotten People. Again, great for just environmental soundscapes. This one's called Fields of Grain. And with Fields of Grain, there are several different versions here. So there's that one that we just listened to, Fields of Grain. There's one called Fields of Grain Piano. Here's what that one sounds like. So it's the same song, just with a piano. I'll skip ahead a little bit. This is great because it gives you the same theme, but with different settings, different ways you can use it, different places you can use this. Because this piano one gives a totally different feel than the regular one. We also have a looped version of the piano. This one's called alt underscore. So alt means it's an alternative version of the track, meaning something's different than the normal one. Underscore, that means there's no melody. And loop, of course, means loop. So we have a piano version, an orchestrated version, a looped orchestrated version also, and then a looped piano version, and then an alternative no melody piano version. So Fields of Grain, there's lots of options there. There's a few tracks that give you several versions of them. Foggy Meadows is another one. I'll play the first 30 seconds or so of Foggy Meadows. And here's Foggy Meadows' alternative version. The main difference you'll hear is just a slight difference in instrumentation. So again, same theme here, same song, but it gives you just a totally different feeling and a wider variety of where you can use it in your game, throughout your game. Let's check out forests. So forests is interesting. Before I explain what's different about them, let me just give a quick explanation of how my brain works when it comes to writing music. I like to think of music divided into sections. So there's an A section, meaning that's one musical idea, and there's a B section, meaning a different musical idea. And Forest has an A and a B section. What's different about Forests and the alternative version of Forests is the A section. Both songs share the same B section. However, there is still a difference between the two, but musically, they're still the same. You'll hear it for yourself. Here's the alternative version of Forests. So yeah, totally different beginnings there. But listen to the B section. And again, here's the B section of the normal one. So it's pretty much the same thing. The main difference you hear in B sections is towards the end. And I'll play that for you. here's the alternative version. So the alternative one just has this little undertone, do 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 da do 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 da. Just gives you a variety there. Here's Kingdoms and Valleys. This one was inspired off of the soundtrack from Oblivion. All right, and this is Midnight Stillness. This track was made specifically for nighttime traveling. Any setting in the nighttime where you're not being attacked. That's generally peaceful. I'll skip ahead a little bit with this one so you can hear what it develops into. This next one's called Northern Village, and again, it's another just Elder Scrolls inspired soundtrack. It could be applicable, honestly, anywhere you're not being attacked, just like the other one. I'll stop right there. And yeah, I want to point out. My aim in creating this album or this asset pack was to emulate the influence that Elder Scrolls soundtracks has had on their games. I wanted to give you something that would be both peaceful and beautiful and melodic at times, but didn't get too much in the way, and if you wanted it to, could loop continuously in the background. That was my aim with this. And so with all of these, you'll hear that they develop quite a bit. But my goal again is to not get in the way, but to just give the listener something interesting, to give the gamer an experience while they're playing your game. This next track is called Peaceful Autumn Morning. Obviously great for any morning environments, morning time, and could be used for a ton of other places, ton of other settings as well. Of course, this and all these other ones come with loops, and with Peaceful Autumn Morning, you'll see it says with fire effects. I thought it might be cool to add some like warm fire in the background, and I didn't like how it turned out, but I thought I would give it to you anyways, just in case you might like it. No pressure to use it though. It's just the sound of wood crackling, of a fire burning. I don't know. This next one's called Wizard's Guild. Just wanted to throw in something different in there. Obviously, it's not quite like the Elder Scrolls-esque atmospheres like these other ones are. Maybe I was kind of inspired by Hogwarts Legacy, so I threw that in there. You're welcome. That about wraps it up. That's all the tracks. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please email me if you have any questions or comment, or wherever you're viewing this video, find a way to contact me. It should be fairly simple. And let me know how you're using it in your game. I'd love to hear about your game so I could share it with my audience. Thank you so much.